How's it going? My name is Garrett Hempstead, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a senior public communication major with a minor in political science here at Ball State. Um, and as I'm wrapping up my senior year, trying to figure out how my major is going to translate into my career path. Like I said, I'm a public communication major with a minor in political science. It was about my junior year I decided that I wanted to come here, study political science, public communication, and I wanted to work my way into a career in politics, and my long-term goal was to be a lobbyist. Um, I thought that these two would be a really good hand-in-hand education where political science is all about how politics works, how the structure of government is, and very theoretical. And then public communication is how to get people to work, how to communicate messages effectively, which I feel like is very important and is something that the political science major doesn't really cover. Um, so as I started, I was all gung-ho about political science, and I actually, last year around this time, landed my dream internship. For the second semester of my junior year, I actually interned for the Indiana State Senate. There I am there. And I thought it was my dream internship, but even though I was enjoying what I was doing, I kind of was like, man, maybe I don't want to make a career out of this. Maybe I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, which was kind of daunting. For the past 4 years leading up to that, I had been convinced that I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I had it all planned out, which I think maybe a lot of us have been in the similar boat of knowing what you're going to do, getting to college and being like, oh man, maybe that's not right. So I was kind of freaking out. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was lucky enough that I had a mentor that was like, well, have you ever thought about doing sales? And the first thing that popped in my head was a car salesman. I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But the more he told me about it and the more research I did on my own, I was like, man, this might be an awesome opportunity. This might be something I really enjoy. I should probably try and get some experience if it's going to be something I want to do. So I started looking at internships, and all the big name sales internships like Eli Lilly, Procter Gamble, Whirlpool, those big companies, they had actually just closed their application deadline. So I was like, shoot, what am I going to do? And I happened to stumble upon an opening on Indeed for a sales internship with Revolution Brewing. It's Illinois' largest independently owned brewery. It's based out of Chicago, and they had just expanded to Indiana, and they were looking for an intern. So I applied, interviewed, and I was lucky enough I got the position, and I spent the entire summer, and actually I still work there part-time, and I sold beer. So as far as a college internship, it couldn't have been any better. I always tell people I went from a suit and tie, clean shaven every single day, to they just said, have a logo on and don't look like a bum. I think I made the majority of my sales wearing sandals over the summer. So really big change, but the internship really kind of solidified that sales is what I want to do. I really enjoy it. But moving forward, I didn't want to change my major to something different. I wanted to graduate in 4 years, so I was going to keep the public communication, political science, and for a while I had to think about how it actually did fit in. And I think that it correlates very nicely. The reason I love sales is because I'm a people person. I love to meet people. I like to make connections. I like to build relationships. And it just doesn't feel like work to me when I'm connecting with others. So the public communication major fits really well into sales. And I think there are a few classes off the top of my head when I was thinking about it that will correlate really well into what I want to do in my career. First and foremost, I said presentational communication. When I came to Ball State, I was pretty confident in my ability to be a public speaker. It wasn't something I stressed out about. I enjoyed doing it. So was it 210 that we all have to take? Didn't really get a whole lot out of. But when I got to presentational communication, I had to kind of be stretched as a speaker. I wasn't able just to go up, plan my speech how I wanted to do it. I had to do it how they wanted. So while I don't think I'm going to go do a pacha for a client or a group of clients, I do think that learning how to be a better public speaker and learning how to present my messages in different ways will be really relevant, whether that is in a formal presentation to a group of clients or if it's just knowing how to organize my ideas in a conversation to where I'm being able to get my message across in the most effective way. I also think the persuasion class was really useful. You're going to notice that all of the classes I mentioned are in the beginning of the public communication major. I felt like those were all very relevant, hands-on, like stuff I'm gonna actually use. So in persuasion, I think that's really relevant in sales. Obviously, you're trying to persuade someone to buy your service or your product. And I think that there's a stigma that salesmen are pushy and kind of slimy when it comes to how persuasive they are, but I think that there's an ethical way to go about persuasion. And obviously, if someone's going to be giving you their money for something, you're going to have to convince them to do that. And I think that persuasion gave me legitimate ways to be able to do that effectively. Finally, I know we all took communication theory, and while it might seem like a really basic course to add, I think that it's really important not only to know at the very bottom of it how to put messages together, but also be able to understand the things that are happening around you. And with the communication theories that we learned about, I think that moving forward into a sales career, I'll be able to decipher better what people are trying to tell me, and I'll be able to make it easy for them to decipher the messages I'm telling them. Overall, I think that my public communication major is going to fit very nicely into my sales career. I hope to, in the next couple months, either find a job doing sales in the construction or the beverage industry. And other than that, I look forward to getting started, and I look forward to using my degree.